everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. This is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, on this very beautiful Tuesday evening. It's beautiful because I am joined by someone who, I'll admit, I might have missed a little bit within the last week or so.
You might have missed
as she digs into her candy and prepares for what is sure to be a fun show. Miss Lisa Locke McGahee, everybody.
Hello.
All right, guys. So we are here. It is 2017. That year, that is 2016, is over. Sure, it had some good things. It had some bad things. But really, we're in the now. So let's live in the future, not in the past. Coming out strong. We're going to be talking about the top movies and TV to be looking forward to in 2017. I went through last night and did my top 17 things for 2017. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But first, we have a few things to talk about. Again, it is the holiday season, so there wasn't a lot of stories to go around. There's just a couple little things I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to get into the list. We'll discuss that stuff. So, ready to go, Candy Girl?
I don't think I'm really going to have all that much today.
Well, I think you're going to be able to contribute to the movies. So,
okay.
You know, what are you eating anyway? What is that?
Chewy Sweet Tarts.
Chewy Sweet. Okay, well, there you
They're
go.
like the little bite-sized ones.
All right, fair enough.
They're delicious.
All right, guys. So normally in the show we talk about some Marvel and DC news, then get into some Star Wars and Harry Potter if there is any, and then miscellaneous. But I've got one Marvel story and one Star Wars story, and then we'll get into it, the list, guys. So starting off, actress Natalie Portman, who's known for her role as Jane Foster in Thor and Thor: The Dark World, talked to Deadline about her upcoming film Jackie, and naturally the topic twirled around to her part in the Marvel films. Now, back in August, she was asked about being in future Marvel films and kind of gave the impression that she was done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She said, quote, "I don't know if maybe one day they'll ask for an Avengers 7 or something. As far as I know, I'm done, but it was a great thing to be a part of." Now, in this interview with Deadline, she kind of seemed a little more hopeful about her future in working in Marvel Cinematic Universe. She said, quote, "When you're doing those blue screen movies, you have to imagine everything outside and within. You have to create the whole world. It's like being a kid again. Hopefully one day I'll be asked back. We'll figure it out then." So Natalie Portman's not going to be in the next Thor film, which actually comes out this year, towards the end. Wait, let me check. Yes, it's the end of this year. But it seems like she's kind of opened the door. It's very different from the tune she was singing 6 months ago. Well, I think we talked about this 6 months ago. Do you think maybe she's wanting to get back in the game or not?
I don't think it sounds like she wants to get back in the game. I mean, she's doing things like Jackie. She doesn't need to be in a Thor movie.
Well, she needs to be in those franchise films to kind of solidify her popularity, I think.
I guess.
I can probably count, within a stadium, how many people are probably going to go see Jackie in theaters.
Yeah, but
because it's a smaller, indie film. Whereas something like Thor or the Star Wars prequels she was in, everyone saw those films,
Yeah, but she doesn't really like either of those. And I feel like she's more of an artist than like a cash grab.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I mean, that's totally...
I mean, I think if they asked her, and it sounds like it's possible that her tone is changing a little because perhaps they've mentioned that they may be calling on her at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Where perhaps when the last interview was going on, the last she'd heard from them was, "We don't think we're going to use her anymore."
Yeah, well,
but,
I mean, apparently, I guess she was kind of, during that time, a little upset that Marvel Studios dismissed Patty Jenkins from one of their projects, and I guess maybe there's a little resentment in there. Maybe she got over it. Maybe, she talked to Marvel. Like you said, maybe they've talked to her about it, and they got something coming up down the pipeline. Because their character of Jane Foster is still in the universe. She's not dead. She was kind of an integral part of Thor: The Dark World. So this next film, Thor: Ragnarok, is not going to take place on Earth hardly at all, from what Kevin Feige says. So really having her in the film, of course, doesn't make sense. But I can see her being possibly in the Avengers films just as a cameo, or even, another Thor film for that matter. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. She's a great actress. I really want to see Jackie, and we'll see if she pops up again in the next Thor film, Thor 4, Avengers, whatever. So, all right, guys, so the very last story we got Before moving on to the 17 things to look forward to in 2017, is going to be a Star Wars story. So, apparently, a source talked to Making Star Wars, not sure what that is exactly, it's some kind of website, I guess, in regards to the Han Solo spin-off film. Now, originally, the date is set for, was it 2000, it's summertime, I think, 2018 is when it's supposed to come out. But I guess sources close to them, or possibly close to them, is say that Lucasfilm and Disney might actually be moving the film back to Christmas time, much like it did with Star Wars The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Star Wars Episode 8, which was originally supposed to come out May 26th, 2017, and it was moved back to December 15th. Now, they said that Lucasfilm and Disney put Rogue One there and changed even Episode 8 because of the huge success of The Force Awakens during that time period, breaking box office records. But before that, every other Star Wars movie had come out in May. The 6 episode films, Clone Wars came out in August, but still, do you think A, this rumor is true, and B, do you think that really this shows that Lucasfilm is really solidifying Christmas time as Star Wars season?
I don't really care when they come out.
You're going to go see them no matter what, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really care.
I don't care if it's the Christmas time or if it's May or...
But, I mean, it's one of the things where the summer blockbuster season is so bogged down with so many movies. If they, put all their movies out during Christmas, as we saw, I mean, they're corner of the market. Rogue One is still making great numbers. It's going to be, I think it hit like 800 million. I mean, there's no doubt it's probably going to cross $1 billion.
I mean, I have no doubt. I mean, December is a good month to do it. I don't think it was a mistake to put The Force Awakens there. And I think with the way Rogue One is doing, I mean, they have almost no competition.
Yeah, exactly. I heard a funny story I saw today. It's like, what was it? It was like, because the next Underworld film comes out this weekend, which totally missed,
I totally didn't even
right,
realize
exactly.
it.
I'm like, and now that it's here, I'm just like, because we're fans of the first 3 films. We like the franchise, I guess you could say. But anyway, the headline.
The first 3.
Yeah, the first 3. So they're 3 out of 4. Anyway, but the headline said, "Can Underworld 5 take down Rogue One at the box office?" And I was like, no. Are you kidding me? No way.
There's no way.
And like I said, us who are fans of the Underworld franchise,
and we're not even gonna
we don't even really care about it, so that's just ridiculous. Go see Rogue One for the 3rd or 5th time or whatever. But I can definitely see moving it back to December. Just again, it's good marketing, good strategy just to corner that, and people know that if they know that, hey, a big movie like Star Wars comes out every Christmas season, they're going to back off. They're going to put it somewhere else. A lot of summer blockbusters, or what considered blockbuster films, are moving more into like March
Spring.
and August. They're spreading it out more, where we're having, you still have your Januaries and your Februaries. They're kind of dead season / Oscar films. And then you have October, September that are also kind of dead. But other than that, I mean, you got a lot of stuff, especially once I start naming some of these dates for the 2017 films. I mean, you get a lot of spread out now.
I feel like movie seasons don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
It just seems like every month when we're talking and, they're talking about box office numbers or whatever, like, people don't have a certain time of year now they go to the movies. People just go to the movies all the time. I mean, sure, like, January is slow because it's the new year and...
Yeah, well, I mean, like...
Christmas, everyone just got done with Christmas, whatever, but, like...
Well, the prime example is, with summer, of course, kids are out of school. They'll go to the movies. Families go on vacation, do stuff together. They go to the movies. Same thing with holidays. Everyone's out of school, out of work. They'll go to the movies. And, the family all goes. And that's kind of why they've solidified those 2 parts of the year as times to, really put out blockbuster films.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense anymore. Because if you think about it, kids are out of school, June and July? Mm-hmm. Movie season starts, in March.
Now, yeah.
It doesn't really matter, though, but, April, February, look at the stuff that, it doesn't matter anymore. You put out a good movie any time of year, I think it's...
I'll agree with you partially on that. I think it has to do with, like for me, for instance, I like Rogue One. We saw it twice. I wouldn't have mind going to see it again, but I just don't have time to go see it. Summertime, people have more free time, they might go see something like that multiple times.
Yeah, but the thing is, adults don't have more free time in the summer by and large.
Yeah, but
So I don't think you go see some movies more in the summer. You don't have more time in the summer than you do right now. No, you don't.
Really, not that I know of.
Most people.
Holidays though I'm busy though, like this last month.
I'm just saying, well, that's like the opposite of regular people. I'm just saying, most people don't have the summers off. Kids do. Adults don't. Adults still go see movies on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, by and large, because adults.
Or Tuesdays when tickets are cheaper.
Whatever. We are different. Our schedules are not like regular people's schedules. I don't think that makes a difference. Mm-hmm. The kids going to see movies during the summer holidays is not enough to make that much of a difference.
Okay. All right. So let's round it back here. You said you don't care about when Star Wars comes out.
I like that it comes out in December because we always go around. It's around my birthday, but the problem, for me, it's harder for me in December because I'm busier at work.
Yeah, of course. December. Yeah, same here. But
with holidays and it's so I prefer. I
think it also comes to the fact that now they've realized too. Like there are many people that I know. Not many people, I guess, but some people I know where that's kind of their new holiday tradition, or take the family and go see Star Wars for the holidays.
I don't know anybody who does that except for you.
I know several people that have done that.
Actually, I do know one other person. I saw somebody else, a Facebook friend of mine, said they all went and saw a movie on Christmas.
Yeah, there are several people who, you're home for, with your family for a week or so. And it's, becoming a tradition where people, the whole family goes and sees Star Wars because everyone's off. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of the way they're marketing it. I think it would be a good thing. I don't care either way. As far as the Han Solo film, I'm not, I've kind of stated that, I'll go see it, but I'm not overly joyed to go see it because I think we don't really need a Han Solo film. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, Star Wars rocks. Yay. Let's move on, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. All right, so those are my only actually two stories for this week. And now we're moving on. I sat down last night, like I said, and thought of the top 17 fantasy, sci-fi, comic book, TV, and movies that I'm excited for or anxious for in 2017. So I'm going to start at the bottom, work my way to the top. Lisa and I are going to talk about it, and we'll see just how excited she is for some of these things. I will have to give an honorable mention real quick. Number 18 on my list, if I had an 18, was probably Alien Covenant. The trailer for that film came out Christmas Day. It's Ridley Scott back doing aliens, and it looks pretty damn good. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien franchise, but I do like it. I have seen all the films. I like Prometheus. I actually just picked up Prometheus today from the library. Just kind of review myself. I'm going to do that with that and the Planet of the Apes films to get ready for the movies coming this summer. But Aliens good. 3 and 4 not good. I like Prometheus. I know people are divided on that. But like I said, with this trailer, it looks good. Ridley Scott's hopefully going to come back and reinvigorate the franchise. But in any event, the official 17 on my list is Thor Ragnarok. That's right. We have the third Thor film coming out. It's one of two Marvel films that's going to be out this year. It's actually the second one. The first one's going to be Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, in this one, they just confirmed, actually, first out that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be in it as Doctor Strange, which they kind of alluded to. If you saw Doctor Strange in the post-credit scene or mid-credit scene, you saw Chris Hemsworth. Looks like they're on Earth searching for Odin, and Doctor Strange is going to give him a hand. However, there is a lot of other great talent in this film. You have Cate Blanchett as Hela, who is going to blow it away. She's just phenomenal. Idris Elba is coming back as Heimdall. Of course, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Carl Urban is going to be in this one, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and of course, we're going to have Mark Ruffalo coming in this one as Bruce Banner / the Hulk. Now, this film has been said as an intergalactic road trip between the Hulk and Thor. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but the idea of Ragnarok, which is the word for Norse mythology's apocalypse, makes it seem like a lot of stuff's going to go down. Maybe some people might die. I wasn't a big fan of the last Thor film. Thor Dark World, probably one of my least favorite Marvel films. But you throw the Hulk into this, you throw some talent like Kate Blanchett, especially if she's playing the villain. I know she's going to rock it. So I am excited for this film. Lisa, where are you at on your level of excitement?
I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm like you. I wasn't a big fan of the Dark World. I love the original Thor.
Oh yeah, the first one's great.
I mean, I love it. But I think a lot of that, what I liked about it was, I mean, Kenneth Branagh directed. I love Kenneth Branagh.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know who directed Dark World.
I don't know. The guy who's directing this one is Taika Waititi. He really hasn't done anything too known, but that's kind of what Marvel does. They get guys that aren't really that well known, have done like maybe a couple good indie films, and then they bring them up, and that's
I guess.
fine.
I mean, I love the original Thor, but I do think a lot of what I liked about it was Kenneth Branagh's style. Mm-hmm. I thought the chemistry of the characters was really good. I liked the first story. The second, Dark World, I don't think I've ever seen it a second time. Like, I think I saw it.
You bought it.
I don't think I've ever watched it again.
I tried to watch it, I think, once when I was trying to review for Avengers Age of Ultron, and I didn't even make it all the way through.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it the time we saw it in the theater. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of meh. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hopeful this one's better. I really like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. Mm-hmm. I think he does a really good job. Like, he really humanizes Bruce Banner in a really, like, I don't know. He just seems like such a regular guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love what Chris Hemsworth does as Thor. Like all those little YouTube things, the videos.
Oh yeah, the
he's
video
doing
where he had his roommate during Civil War.
Yeah, like
that was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I think all these little Thor bits are so funny, and I think they're trying really hard to kind of rebrand Thor because people didn't like the dark world
perhaps
or whatever. So hopefully this will be better. I mean, I think it could be really good, and the cast.
I think it
great.
could. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be really big. Where we left kind of Thor or his world was that Loki had taken over as Odin. We don't know what happened to Odin. I mean, he did something to him. We're probably gonna find out in this one. So Thor, what was the last? Oh yeah, the last time we saw Thor was in Age of Ultron. He got a vision about the Infinity Stones, and then he took off. Now, do you think there's a possibility we're going to see an Infinity Stone, the last Infinity Stone in this film?
I think it's probably likely.
I could think either that or the next Avengers film. But in any event, Thor Ragnarok comes out November 3rd. It'll be a nice one to go see. I'm waiting for a trailer, I think...
We've got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, exactly. There's plenty of time for it. We'll probably get a trailer, I imagine, in summertime during Comic-Con, and I'm sure it's going to blow all of our socks off. All right, next, number 16 on my most anticipated of 2017, Wonder Woman.
Okay, number 1, this should be fucking higher on the list.
Okay, well, can I give my reasons why it's lower on the list? Okay.
No.
Okay, so.
Especially since right above it is this Valerian crap.
Will you calm down,
I'm
okay?
just saying.
This is my list, okay? If you wanted your list, you should have made it.
You didn't. Number 1, hey, I've been out of town, so you should have told me today to prepare a list, and I would have.
Can I continue?
No.
Okay. Number 16, Wonder Woman. That's right, Gal Gadot is back.
Gadot.
I said that.
No, you didn't.
Okay, I forget the T. Anyway, she's back as the Amazon warrior. First appearance was in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. She's going to get her own film now, directed by Patty Jenkins. And it's going to be the next film coming out from the DC Cinematic Universe on June 2nd. Now, this one is kind of a precursor to the events of Dawn of Justice and the upcoming Justice League film. Set during World War I, Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, comes to Themyscira and talks about the war outside that the Amazons are kind of not a part of, but kind of triggers Diana to step out and lend a hand in World War I, and she steps into man's world, a world she's not quite understanding, but these events, of course, will lead into Justice League and help us explore the character more. Now, this is the first full-length feature film of Wonder Woman, the most famous superheroine, so to speak, and of course, they made a big deal that it'd be directed by a woman as well. Now, the reason it's not higher on my list is Batman, the current DC movies like Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad. I didn't care for them. Okay, so all this excitement for the next DC film has been dwindled by that. The other reason, Gal Gadot looks great as Wonder Woman. I still don't say, I don't see her pulling off the acting chops.
I still can't believe you think this Valerian thing is going to be.
We're going to get to that. Okay, we're going to talk
that
about
trailer looked horrible.
No, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, give us your thoughts on your excitement for Wonder Woman.
I'm super excited for Wonder Woman. I think the trailers look awesome, and I am hoping that this is where DC is going to turn it around.
I'm totally hoping. Hey, I am, totally behind. I totally want this film to do awesome.
That's why you have it at 16 on your list?
Because of the history, okay? It's got the other DC films working against it, as well as its main lead. I would love to put it higher, but I just couldn't because, again, I'm just very hesitant of it. I hope it does awesome. I can't wait to see the film. We'll probably be there opening night, but as of right now, I can't get into it.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. So moving on from there, number 15, as Lisa is completely disappointed with, is going to be Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
This trailer was terrible.
It wasn't that bad.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it looked very... Okay, I would definitely compare...
It looked very like that Wachowski brothers, or sisters, whatever the hell they are. The Wachowski movie.
The Jupiter Ascending.
Yes, it looked like Jupiter Ascending meets Wannabe, that one I like.
Fifth Element.
No, not Fifth Element. The one I like, where I was talking about the book that has Harrison Ford and that kid in it.
Ender's Game.
Ender's Game. It looked to me like Ender's Game meets Fifth Element.
I did say
meets...
I gave it a little, again, I gave that Jupiter Ascending vibe, but I also got that Fifth Element vibe, which makes sense because the guy who directed Fifth Element and Lucy, Luc Besson, I know I said that wrong, is the guy who's directing the film. And again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because of that. Lucy, not the best film,
so
but...
So that guy's 50-50 and you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Yes, because of the cast as well, okay? You have Dan DeHaan, I never say that right, John Goodman, Clive Owen, and one of my favorite actors there, Ethan Hawke. This could totally be a train wreck.
And it will be.
It's based off a French...
Mark my word.
It's based off a French comic book, which I've never read or heard of before, but it looks like such a fun romp that, if done correctly, I think could be a good time.
I do not have good expectations.
Not at all? I mean...
No, the trailer, I did not like the trailer at all. There was nothing in that trailer that made me want to see it.
It made me want to see more. I mean, because it didn't give away any
it didn't tell you anything at all. It just looked weird to me. I was not into it.
What? Come on.
I did not like it.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. It comes out July 21st. I mean, it's number 15 on my list. So
yeah,
it's
but
not
it's
like
ahead of Wonder Woman.
Well, Wonder Woman has a lot going against it, is the problem. Okay? That's just how it is. So, all right, so let's move on from there. Number 14 on my list, War for the Planet of the Apes, comes out July 14th. This is the third film in the revamped Apes franchise. After the events of, what was it? It wasn't Rise, but it was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. We see Caesar finally going to war with the humans, led by Woody Harrelson, or AKA the General. And I am, based off the last two films, so excited. I'm not a fan of, the Planet of the Apes franchise. I've seen the films long ago because that's, my dad liked the films, but I haven't seen them in 20 years or so, and I wasn't excited for see the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, kind of the revamp, but it was a good film. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was a good film, so now I'm excited to continue the story of Caesar, played by Andy Serkis, and finally see the war that, according to the mythology, we all know the apes win. So it'll be very interesting. They had the trailer come out. The trailer looked interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for this film.
Maybe they're going to rewrite history.
Maybe they could. They could, I mean, the war maybe it's not going to just be one film. Maybe they'll continue it on and, do another one as well, continue the war part 2 or something like that. It is the event, so I can see them doing a part 1 and part 2 with it, perhaps. I don't know. But I was thinking about this today as well. If this film is good, I would definitely put the new Planet of the Apes trilogy as one of my top 5 trilogies of all time. Definitely. So, high hopes for this. Comes out July 14th, just past my birthday. I think it'll be good. So, all right. So, number 13 on my list of most anticipated films and TV shows in 2017, Lego Batman movie.
I'm super excited for this one.
Oh my god, it looks like so much fun, Mm-hmm. You got Will Arnett back voicing Batman. Michael Cera is going to be Robin, Ray Fiennes as Alfred, Rosario Dawson as Batgirl, and Zach Galifianakis as the Joker. The trailers look
The trailer
hilarious.
just looks awesome. This looks so funny. I mean, and I think they're doing a good job just kind of playing off the bits and pieces that, because the Lego movie was such a surprise, hit. Like, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I mean, we all thought there was like, Lego movie, this is going to be horrible. The problem with the Lego movie, too, is now it's spawned all these other, game stuff. Like, they're doing an Emoji movie. They're doing a Tetris movie. They're doing, they did the Angry Birds movie. Which,
yeah, well, they can waste their time doing all that shit if they want. If it doesn't have a good story, it doesn't matter. The good thing about the Lego movie was that they took what people like about Legos, but made a really good story.
Well, I think what they did, too, is they took a good story and built Legos around it. They incorporated Legos into it.
Not necessarily, because that movie... I mean, like I say a lot of times, I think what I like so much about Disney and Pixar is they take a really good script and they just happen to animate it. It could be, if that was made as a live action movie, if it was possible, it would be just as good. Like, they take good stories and just happen to animate them. But the Lego movie, I think, was different because there were so many pieces of it. You couldn't have just written that script and then made that movie with Legos. So much of what was good about that movie was the fact that they were Legos.
Yeah. They definitely played off, poke fun of themselves a little bit.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, that movie was written as a Lego movie. And then they were like, let's play off Legos. Let's use what people like about Legos. And let's make a really great story that incorporates that. So, like, it's not like they just had a good script and they're like, we'll just make it Lego people. Like when they make, like, the Lego Star Wars and whatever. Those have really nothing to do with the fact that they're Legos. They just happen to make that movie
Those are
with
just
Legos.
fun stories about Star Wars,
Right. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't like they just took, like, the story of Up and then did it with Lego characters. Like, this is about Legos. And that's why, but this Lego Batman, I don't think is so much going to be about the fact that they're Legos. It's going to be a Batman story.
It could be a Batman story, but again, because it's Legos, it allows them to have a little
more
fun.
Creativity and stuff. Yeah, like the scene in the trailer I love where he like pulls his pants off like Robin does, and
it's like, oh, we should have worn our costume. I've got mine. Oh, you wore yours. Great. Yeah, and the way Will Arnett, plays Batman. I mean, he was one of my favorite parts of the Lego movie, of course. Great voice acting in there, with Chris Pratt
Will Arnett
and Elizabeth Banks. But Will Arnett, the way he plays it is just great. So I'm super excited for this film. I definitely want to take Nora to go see it because it is Legos. So it's going to be fun and probably kid friendly, but it's also Batman and superheroes. So I think maybe take Logan. Honestly,
maybe
I think he'd have fun with that. What do you think?
Maybe.
So, all right, guys. So next up on the list, number 12, we have Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's right, in the third version of Spider-Man now, played by Tom Holland. The film comes out July 7th, directed by John Watts. This is going to be a continuation of the Spider-Man we saw introduced in Captain America: Civil War. Now, from the trailer, it looks like Peter Parker is in high school, kind of dealing with high school issues, but also kind of struggling with the fact that he has these powers and he wants to do more with them. But Tony Stark is saying, no, just, enjoy yourself. You're not ready for the big time, etc., etc. In pops the villain known as Vulture, which I believe is played by Michael Keaton. We're not 100% on that yet, from what I know, but people are just assuming he's going to be the villain in this. And he's got to fight him and all this other stuff. The trailer kind of says the rest of it. Also stars Marissa Tomei coming back as Aunt May and Robert Downey Jr. in there as Iron Man as well. So another Spider-Man movie, another interpretation of the Wallcrawler, but I think it's going to be good because Spider-Man: Homecoming. When people heard the name Homecoming, they thought two things. One, okay, he's in high school in this one, so homecoming means probably a homecoming dance, perhaps. Maybe there's a big thing about him asking the girl he wants to date, Liz, to the homecoming dance, perhaps even. But also the other meaning is the fact that Spider-Man is technically now back in the Marvel banner. Sony still owns the rights, but they're sharing them with Marvel Studios, so that's why we got to have Spider-Man mix it up with Captain America and Iron Man in Civil War. Might even see him make an appearance in the next Avengers Infinity War film. In any event, this film looks like a lot of fun. I'm just super excited that, again, we get to see him mix it up with the other Marvel characters, especially he plays so well off of Robert Downey Jr. I'm excited to see what they do more with that, too.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one, and I don't usually get excited for Spider-Man movies, so I thought this one looked really good. I mean, I love what Tom Holland did as his version of Spider-Man from Civil War. I think he was just the right amount. I mean, he acted like, I feel like the previous ones, like, they were supposed to be in high school, but they didn't really act like high schoolers. Mm-hmm. Like, he feels to me like a kid in high school.
Yeah, he does. He's very, like, you know, kind of naive and enthusiastic.
Just like the way he talks, too. And his little bits in Civil War, I was like, this kid is totally like just a silly high school kid. Like, it's perfect.
Yeah, and he's dealing with his issues, you know?
Yeah, so I think this looks really good. I'm excited for it. More excited than I've been for a Spider-Man movie probably ever.
So out of the Marvel films, are you more excited for this than Thor Ragnarok this year?
Well, because we haven't seen trailer for Thor yet, I don't think it's fair to compare.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good.
I mean, it's hard for me to not get excited about anything that has Thor in it because he's my favorite.
He's so hot. Oh, yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah, right. And Tom Hiddleston's going to be back, too. So
see, that's my favorite, too.
You get both of them to look at in that
That's like
one.
heaven for me.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about a film I know you're excited about. Number 11 on the list, Power Rangers. That's right.
Yes.
Based off the old 90s show, we have 5 teenagers that get powers and become the Power Rangers that have to fend off the evil Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks. And in doing so, they get superhuman powers and they get to battle with these giant robot dinosaurs. And they form the Megazord and blah, 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 blah. We've got one trailer so far. I just saw today the marketing push looks like in the toys because both in Target and Toys R Us, they had all the Power Ranger toys coming out. The film comes out a little over 2 months, March 24th. To say I'm super excited about it, no. Am I a little excited about it? A little bit, you know, the nostalgia. I watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the first couple seasons when I was a kid. After that, I kind of grew out of it, but I watched the first couple seasons. It was really a playoff of, you know, I always say the show was always a mixture of Voltron meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which were two of my favorite cartoons as a child. So it had a little bit of creativity to it. It was a lot of fun. So just for nostalgia's sake, I'm excited to see this one. We'll see how it goes. You know, give me another trailer, which, yeah, they should come out with another trailer. It's 2 months. We've only got one trailer so far. We need another trailer, actually, from this. So I bet we'll get to see one soon. In any event, Power Rangers, March 24th. Lisa, you coming with me or not? Wait till a second trailer, maybe?
Sure.
Wait till a second trailer. Judge it by then, perhaps.
To be determined. I'm definitely not going opening night.
No. Well, I'm an opening night guy.
I know, but you have to realize, if you're looking at this fucking list, dude, I cannot go to all these movies opening night. I have to work.
The rest of a lot of these are going to be TV shows, too, so we're not
Anyway, I'm just saying.
In the event,
I can't always go opening night. I have a job that requires me to be up at the ass crack of dawn.
That's true. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So, yeah, this film also stars Bryan Cranston, actually, so trying to add a little bit of legitimacy to it, perhaps. What I've seen of Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa could be good. I know Lionsgate is banking heavily on this film. They need another franchise. So they're really hoping for it. We'll see how they pull it off. It's got to have, you know, it's about the characters. You know, they can't just make a spectacle with all the action and all that. They have to make us feel about the characters. The 5 main actors and actresses in this are relative to me unknowns. I've never seen them in anything else.
I didn't recognize any of them.
That's why, you know, they're banking more on, you know, Elizabeth Banks, Bryan Cranston. So, you know, saying, oh yeah, well, this actor's in it, so you should be pretty decent. Mm-hmm. The 5 main characters, we don't know what they can do.
Well, I will say, as somebody who did not watch Power Rangers as a child and had, like, I have literally almost my exclusive knowledge of the show is the shit that I used to watch over my little sister when I babysat her when she was little.
It's morphin' time.
Because she wanted to be Kimberly for a little while.
Well, what young girl did?
It's the Pink Ranger, right?
Yeah, that's the pink one, yes.
So that's basically the extent of my knowledge of Power Rangers.
Did they show you how racist it was, too? Because, okay, the girl was the Pink Ranger, the Asian girl was the Yellow Ranger, the black guy was the Black Ranger, the Indian guy was the Red Ranger.
Okay, anyway, so what I was trying to say is that this trailer didn't look bad to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it definitely wasn't a trailer where I was like, that looks badass. But it was a trailer to where, like, when I first started watching it, I was like, what are we watching a trailer for? And then when I realized that it was the Power Rangers trailer, like, if I hadn't known they were making a Power Rangers movie, I wouldn't have realized what this was until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like, but it looked interesting. It didn't. I wasn't sitting there watching
Yeah.
it. It wasn't one of those where like it's over and I look at you and say, "There's no fucking way I'm gonna see that movie."
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that. So that's good, I think, on their part.
Yeah, I mean that you're the the person, like I said, you don't know much about the franchise.
I'm certainly
you never
not the
watched
target
it.
audience.
Exactly, but you're the person they're trying to reach. Someone like me who has seen the Power Rangers, has a connection. They know they've got my money. They're trying to get your money. So with trailers like that, that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
they succeeded, I think.
well, there we go. Well, like I said, we'll wait.
I mean, I'm not going opening night, but
Well, like I said, we'll see. I'm hoping another trailer will give us more of the action, more of the plot, and maybe drag in some more of those people that are unsure at this point. So, all right. So we got 7 down, 10 to go, kids. Just as a little warning for Lisa here, 5 out of these 10 are TV shows.
Yeah,
so
I already noticed
you can
that.
take a little back seat when we get to it. So, but starting off, number 10, one thing you can contribute: Star Wars Rebels Season 3 continues. Actually comes back on Saturday. Now, the last episode we got was, I believe, was it last month or November? In any event, it was
last month, I
like,
think.
what is it, Visions, something, blah, blah, blah. We saw Darth Maul come back into the fold, still looking for Obi-Wan. He thinks he found him. He ran off. He left Ezra and Kanan and Sabine there, and Sabine picked up the Darksaber from his hideout, the same weapon that Darth Maul used to kill Satine in the Clone Wars. And this kind of course, has spawned a new theory as far as Rey's heritage, which is that she's possibly the granddaughter of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we can get into that
Another time.
when we get in. Yeah, another time, exactly. But this one thing that's kind of linked at this point is what's his name, Pablo Hidalgo, Lucasfilm Story Group, said before the break that now that Rogue One has come out, the next half of this season is going to be very, Rogue One Easter eggy, I guess you could say, where you're going to see the connections from Rogue One to Rebels, and one of those things is coming out, I believe, in the very first episode, which is Saw Gerrera, a character who is dominant in Rogue One, is going to be in Rebels. It looks like did you see the commercial I posted?
I didn't watch it.
So basically, it looks like the crew of the Ghost have to go rescue Saw Gerrera from Geonosis, is what it is, and it's going to still be voiced by Forrest Whitaker, which I thought was pretty cool as well. So anyway, the second half of Rebels Season 3 coming out. Are you excited to see how it's going to end?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Super excited? Okay,
Yes.
What are you more excited about? Are you excited for more stuff with Maul or Sabine?
Probably Maul. I don't really know enough about the Mandalorians, but I definitely feel like this should be higher on this list.
Okay, well, I got a lot of stuff that I'm excited about, okay?
Anyway.
You're commenting on the list. I get it, okay? But this was my list, okay?
Anyway, I'm more excited for Maul, but just because I think I know a little bit more about him and I find him. I like Sabine all right, but I don't think I know enough about her yet to find her all that interesting. And I'm still learning about the Mandalorians from Clone Wars since I haven't finished the show yet. So maybe once I know more about the Mandalorians but right now I'm still more interested in what happens with Maul.
Yeah, I love, Maul. One thing I want to see, of course, in the big thing for Season 3 was we were promised Grand Admiral Thrawn. And we've seen him.
Yeah, but he hasn't really had much of a presence.
And I think that has to do with the fact that, again, it's his plan. Thrawn is, he's a long-term, player. He's in it for the long haul. I think this whole time he's studying the crew of the Ghost, studying the Rebels, and I think towards this later season, everything that he's learned is going to come to a head. And again, I think we might have some tragedy strike before the season is over, perhaps. People are still holding out, hoping Ahsoka comes back. I don't think she's coming back at all. I think she's done, honestly, for the series, from what Dave Filoni has talked about. But
I refuse to speculate.
Okay. All right. All right. I forgot you hate the fan theories. You just hate them.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, though. Ezra, going dark side or no by the end of the season?
I don't know. I think it's too early to tell if it's going to happen this season.
I don't think this season. I think next season. I think
it's going to happen for sure.
I think he's going to have some event at the end of this season that's going to kind of solidify his journey, and then by next season he's going dark side. That's what I think. But we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that comes back on Saturday on Disney XD, guys. So if you're not watching, of course, check it out.
You should be.
Pretty good. So, All right, number 9 on my list is a show that I had not been excited about in a really long time, but this season really has reinvigorated my enthusiasm for it, and that is Arrow Season 5. Comes back January 25th. The last 2 episodes, the crossover episode with The Flash and DC's Legends Tomorrow, I thought was really good. It was the 100th episode of the series, and then this last one, the mid-season finale, was phenomenal. Arrow is one of those shows where kind of had hit its height in season 2, season 3, and season 4. Season 3 wasn't bad. Season 4 was absolutely horrendous. I came home every night and I was just like, gosh, I guess I'll watch Arrow. But I'm glad I stuck it out because it's been good. Season 5, I feel like it's getting back to its roots. It's really awesome, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. Just go in a little bit of spoiler territory. I really want to know who Prometheus is. They're kind of hinting that it might be a resurrected Tommy. I don't buy that, namely because the actor is still working on another TV show. So, and the other thing, the big surprise they had at the end of the mid-season finale is the return of Laurel Lance, aka Black Canary. But of course, from previews that we've seen, this might not be the Laurel from this universe, perhaps from another Earth, say Black Siren, who, as far as we know, is locked up at Star Labs. We'll have to wait and see. In any event, I'm excited, though, for Katie Cassidy to be back. I think her character, as the seasons went on, got better, and I was a little disappointed. I know they don't really know how to utilize her too much, and that's, why they killed her off. But in the comic books, it's Oliver and Laurel that are meant to be together, so I hope they still somehow bring that back, even if, they have to go through Black Siren first to get to that storyline. But in any event, Arrow, if you lost your way, come back to it, catch up on this season. It's been awesome. All right, number 8 on my list of TV and movies to catch up on or watch in 2017. The Defenders Season 1 comes out, looks like fall. I don't think they've got an official release date, but this is it, guys. In 2015, Netflix and Marvel kicked off their Netflix universe with Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Last year we got Daredevil Season 2 and Luke Cage. This year we're getting Iron Fist and The Defenders. Just like the Marvel movies, they started off with individual movies like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. Then they all came together for the Avengers. Same thing here. They got Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. They're all coming together for one TV series. I always like to say Avengers are the heroes that save the planet. The Defenders are the heroes who save the neighborhood. If you've watched any of the Netflix series, they're not quite as powerful as, say, a Hulk or a Thor or an Iron Man, but they do have power. And one thing I've loved with the Netflix series is it's a totally different style from what you get from the movies. The movies are family friendly, a lot of fun, which some people have problems with, whatever. But if you want that dark and gritty tone to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Netflix shows is where it's at. I've been trying to get Lisa to watch some of them. I really think she'd enjoy Jessica Jones.
I just don't have time.
I know, she doesn't have time. But another thing I like about it is with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, I feel like they're making statements as well, socially. Where Daredevil, okay, I don't really feel a sense of they're trying to say a bigger message, but with Jessica Jones, I felt they were kind of commenting on feminism a little bit, because in that series, Jessica is controlled by David Tennant, Kilgrave, and it's almost like they're trying to do a metaphor for an abusive relationship with a woman who's not quite strong enough to leave, and what happens when she does leave. She has to live with the aftermath of a traumatic event and all that other stuff. And then Luke Cage, it was set in Harlem, and it had a very African-American, vibe, where it was all set in, that world and talking about Black history in America, and really gave off that, social vibe, like they were really trying to say something. Now with Iron Fist coming out in March, I'm not sure if they're going to try to say anything there. I don't know about what, the Asian community? I'm not sure what's going on there. But in any event, Defenders, all these heroes that we've seen come together all as one. I think it's going to be really awesome. Super excited for it. I will say I am more excited for the Netflix Marvel series than I am the Marvel movies coming out this year. Just because I've enjoyed what they've done, especially Daredevil. So, all right, guys. So, number 7 on my list, coming back to the movies, Justice League. That's right. It is the true continuation of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Where
Hold on. Let me just time out about the list real quick.
Okay.
So your biggest thing about the Wonder Woman was the fact that it was DC, and you fucking have Justice League at 7?
Okay. Can I read off synopsis before you jump down my throat here? Please? Okay, right. So, Justice League, in this one we see Wonder Woman and Batman, played by Ben Affleck, deal with the aftermath of the death of Superman, and they're assembling a team together to fight off what they think is an upcoming threat. So they try to recruit The Flash, aka Ezra Miller, Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa, and Cyborg, played by Ray Fisher, I think is his name, something like that. In any event, they've come out with that trailer, and really, why I'm excited for this over Wonder Woman is that it's the Justice League. The same reason I was excited more for Avengers than I was the first Thor film, because it's all these characters coming together as a team, okay? Them interacting with each other and getting to see it. Just like, when you read a Justice League comic, and I read for years about how these characters interact with each other, and now it's coming to fruition on the screen. It's, it's surreal.
It's just more of a chance for them to disappoint you.
Okay, see, well, that's what I'm saying. Let's get into this a little bit, okay? Where the reason it's not number 2 on my list is because, again, a little bit of disappointment to it. But, again, I like the trailer. The trailer looked solid. And also, the reason I have more hope for this, it's being directed by Zack Snyder again, who directed Man of Steel and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I did not like either of those films. However, I do like the ultimate cut of Batman v Superman. So for that, I have to give Zack Snyder a little bit of credit for that, plus the fact that he does a couple other films of his that I like. So I got to give him the credit there. And you got allegedly Ben Affleck doing a little more in this film. I heard he's executive producing it. I heard they're changing tones from what they originally were going to do. But it's the Justice League. It's all these godlike heroes coming together. So how, as a person who has spent his life reading comic books, how can I not be excited about it? So, that's it? Anything to add?
No.
No? Okay. All right. You're not excited at all? Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, that comes out November 17th, guys. So
I just have no hope left in these characters. Like Wonder Woman,
I think if Wonder Woman fails, it's DOA.
Yeah.
It's DOA. Nobody's going to be excited for Justice League.
And I still didn't like the ultimate cut. So.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, really, like I said, before it was like after, Batman v Superman was what everyone was looking forward to. When that was a supposed disappointment, all eyes were on Suicide Squad. That was a disappointment, mixed bag. So now everything relies on Wonder Woman. And I think, again, if Wonder Woman doesn't pan out, eyes will be on Justice League. But no. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, number 6 on the list, Logan. The next film from the X-Men franchise sees Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart allegedly coming back as their last run as Wolverine and Professor X in this kind of dystopian road trip film where they have to protect this child from, looks like, the government agencies or something like that. But Logan's a little worn. He really doesn't want to help out based on the trailers. So he's going to have to get his act together and be the hero we know he can be. That comes out March 3rd, which is probably the closest next to Lego Batman on the list. That comes out, that's, is January 3rd? Is January 3rd or what day is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 months from now, we'll be sitting there watching Logan, seeing how it is. And based on the trailer, it's probably one of the best trailers of last year. So I'm excited for it. I think you're excited for it too, right?
Yeah, I didn't really understand the trailer. Like, I was super confused, but in a way that I was like, I want to go to this movie and see what this is about.
Well, it's really cool because if you, forget the fact that it is, Logan or Wolverine, aside from popping the claws, this movie could have nothing to do with the X-Men either. It could have been just another film. The only thing that, you could say it ties into was when, he popped out the claws and he was Wolverine. So it's a different spin too. It doesn't look like superheroes wearing tights and going on a romp. It looks a different genre compared to just the straight up superhero films. So I'm excited for that, and it is rated R. So the second X-Men film to be rated R next to Deadpool. But allegedly, this is the last time Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart will be in these films. We'll just have to wait and see on that. I don't believe that, really, to be honest. I think Hugh Jackman's got at least some cameo coming up in the future. But in any event, Logan looks pretty good. So, number 5 on my list. Number 5, number 4, you can take a back seat real quick here. Number 5 on my list, Voltron, Legendary Defender, Season 2. Ooh, okay, if you guys are not watching this one, please get your head out of your asses and sit down and watch Season 1. It's only 13 episodes. They're about a half hour long. It's one of the best sci-fi animated shows I've seen ever. Now, I may be a little biased because it is a modern interpretation of one of my favorite childhood animated series, Voltron Legendary Defender. But they've taken that modern context, they've added more depth to the story, more depth to the characters, and just made it so much more interesting compared to the old series. In this one, you do have the 5 guys that land on planet Eris and form Voltron Force and go out and fight King Zarkon and all his oppression. But they're a lot more layered. For instance, Pidge, who was kind of the youngest of them, little guy in the series, turns out he is actually a she. He's been posing as his brother or her brother to try to find out what happened to her brother and her dad, who are on a mission with the leader of the Voltron Force, Shiro, and he has some memory loss because he's been captured by Zarkon for been in prison for over a year, where he was a gladiator known as the Champion because he won. He's got a robotic arm that does couple of cool things, and he's still trying to piece together all that. The other characters themselves are there for depth, but not as much as Pidge and Shiro have. Princess Allura, who again was more of a one-note character in the original series, she's got a lot more interesting story to tell with bringing a planet back to life in Season 1. And then, of course, the coolest thing was in the finale of Season 1, you had King Zarkon himself come out in space to face off against the Voltron Force and basically hint that he was an original member of the Voltron Force and he piloted the Red Lion himself. So we're super excited to see, or I am at least, what's going on there and what the history is behind all of that. At the end of Season 1, spoiler alert, we saw Zarkon take and pretty much disintegrate, or what he thought was disintegrate, the Voltron Force, and they're all split across the galaxy and they have to find their way back together. Super excited for Season 2, guys. If you're not, just do me a favor, check out the first episode. If you're not on board after the first episode, okay, fine. But I guarantee you, if you like good sci-fi, if you like good storytelling, you will be on board. Number 4 on my list, another Netflix series, Marvel, of course. Iron Fist Season 1 comes out on St. Patrick's Day. That's right, I've already requested it off, kids. Iron Fist being one of my favorite Marvel characters. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about him. For that, I would recommend the Immortal Iron Fist run by Ed Brubaker. Super good. It's one of my favorite runs of his. Beyond that, again, I'm not well-versed because there are a lot of characters that I like, but I like certain runs. Like I'm a big Superman guy, but there's a lot of Superman storylines that I don't like just because I don't like the story. With Iron Fist, I love Immortal Iron Fist. I like the Power Man Iron Fist series that's going on right now. I don't like Iron Fist Living Weapons, so it's pick and choose. But in any event, I'm a fan of the mythology. I'm a fan of the character. I really like it. Just to give you guys a little background who don't know the character, Danny Rand was a young boy when his father and mother went to the Himalayas on an expedition. His mother and father died, and he was picked up by monks from the mystical city of, I can never pronounce this right, Kungla, something like that. Anyway, it's a mystical city. No one really knows it exists. And what happens there is they train people in Kung Fu. And every generation, the best student is chosen to go off and fight this dragon to retrieve the power of the Iron Fist if they defeat the dragon. And Danny, being the white boy surrounded by a bunch of Asians, was constantly picked on, had to rise up and become the best of the best to get the power of the Iron Fist. That's, speed, healing, strength, all that stuff. And of course, his fist light on fire, hence the name Iron Fist. And eventually comes back to New York to hook up with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Daredevil and all that, which we'll see in the Defenders. But again, I'm a super fan of this character. I know how good this character can be based off what Brubaker did with him. Some other writers not so much, but you can be sure on St. Paddy's Day, I will be drinking my kryptonite, watching some Iron Fists. Okay, coming back to movies. You ready, Lisa?
Sure.
Okay, got 3 more left, so you can contribute to 2 of them. Okay? So, number 3 on the list, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, for those of you who don't know Spanish, by the way. Comes out May 5th. This is going to be a continuation of Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. We got Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, and Vin Diesel all coming back for this one. The trailer looked hella fun. We still don't know exactly what the storyline is be, except for the fact it's going to involve Star-Lord's dad, played by Kurt Russell, playing possibly a living planet, which should be interesting. But based off the first trailer, it looks like we're stepping into that super fun world that we got from the first film. I'm excited for it. I know Lisa loves Baby Groot.
He's so cute.
So I think she's excited for it as well. May 5th, yeah, that's going to be awesome, really.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer looks so fun.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, it doesn't tell you anything about what the story's going to be about, but it just looks fun. Like, the dynamic that the characters have with each other.
And that was the best thing about the first one.
Yeah.
How they played off each other.
Yeah, their interactions. I mean, you can say what you want about the Marvel movies being light and whatever, but this movie just looks fun. Like...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People criticize the Marvel movies because it's all quips and lightheartedness. And
But who cares?
But who cares? They're family films. It's something that even if I wanted to, I could easily just take Nora as she is right now and take her to a movie. I know she's not gonna see anything bad, but she might have a little fun, with it as well too. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes out May 5th. Number 3 on my list of most anticipated TV and movies to come out in 2017. Now we're moving on to number 2. Game of Thrones Season 7, folks. There's 2 seasons left. Season 7, Season 8. It's going to be a shorter seasons as well. We're not getting 10 episodes. I think we're getting 7 episodes this season and 6 episodes in the last season. And it's coming down the end. If you're not caught up yet, take a minute, walk away, put it on pause. It's going to go a little spoilery here. At the end of Season 6, we saw the Battle of the Bastards, or the Battle for Winterfell. Jon Snow took back his family home and kind of solidified himself as the new King of the North. And we also got to find out his true heritage, that he is also a Targaryen. So which people, of course, are playing off of now, where the original title for the Game of Thrones book was A Song of Fire and Ice. So with Jon Snow, he's a son of he's a son of Winterfell, the Starks, and also a son of the Targaryens. Starks are ice, Targaryens are fire. So you can kind of see that after all this time, we know Jon Snow is all what it's all about. Will he make it out by the end? We don't know. He's already died once. Chances are I don't think they'll kill him off again, at least until the end of the series. I can see him going the very end of the series, but I don't see him going before then. Got a couple cool things going on. Daenerys has finally got her ships. She's got her dragons. She's on her way to Westeros to take out Cersei and King's Landing. So I think that's what the main thing we're going to see this season. And then next season, we're truly going to get the battle against the White Walkers. It's been building since the first scene of the series, guys. The White Walkers, they're coming. They're close to the wall, and the wall is supposed to have some mystical power that keeps them away. I have a feeling in this next season we're going to see the wall come down, and all hell's going to break loose. The White Walkers are going to descend upon the 7 kingdoms, and it's going to be beautiful. And then everyone who has been fighting each other for 6 or 7 seasons of the show realize they all have to come together for a common foe. Excited. Okay. All right. Done with that. Ready for number 1?
Sure.
Well, I think everyone can guess what the number 1 thing is. It's on everyone's number 1 list, I believe, in 2017. Star Wars Episode 8 coming out December 15th. The continuation of the story with Rey and Finn and Poe and Kylo Ren. And last we saw, Rey was standing on that cliff, holding out Luke's old lightsaber to him. Do you think he said, "Hey kid, get out of here, bother me," or what do you think happens?
You were asking the wrong person.
Oh, speculation. Come on now.
Won't do it.
Come on now.
I'm just excited to see what happens. I don't want to guess.
Oh my god. Well, I am excited to hopefully. I mean, granted, it's only been a year since the film came out, but the thing about it is that Episode 7, The Force Awakens, raised. You had more questions coming out of that film than you did going in. Of course, the main two questions: who's Rey's parents, and who is Snoke. Okay. I want these questions to be answered because if they put it off for another year, I don't think Star Wars fans can handle it. Oh my god, they got to answer at least one of those questions, but I have a feeling they might end up giving us more questions as well. Now, it's going to be bittersweet when we sit down to watch this film as well because the recent passing of Carrie Fisher. Allegedly, she finished filming all of her scenes before her passing last week, so we're going to see her in this film. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the character, knowing that, maybe, I don't know what they're going to do with it, honestly. I mean, we'll see. I had a feeling by the end of this new trilogy, the main three from the last trilogy, Han, Luke, and Leia, were going to be gone anyway. Whether, they've written that for Luke or Leia to go, I don't know what's going to happen. But
you think they'll kill her off in the films now, or it'll just be like where she's off doing something else?
Off doing something else, but again, you can't bring her back. You can't take that main character like that and kill her off on the sideline. Or just
that's what I mean. So I think they'll have to just have her off doing other things.
And here's another thing I thought of too was, okay, the book Bloodline, that it was about Leia, and we know that it's, Rian Johnson, the director of Episode 8, had a hand in writing it. So and with the events of Episode 7 and the destruction of the Senate's homeworld and all that, I think Leia's going to take a more dominant role, which means Carrie Fisher is going to have a more dominant role in this film as well. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It depends. Like I said, it depends on what the story is. I don't know if they have a story where they're going to change it now or if they're going to do something. I really don't know. But I can see based off of Bloodline and what happened in Episode 7, her being, more front and center in this one, and how they go on from this, I don't know. I honestly hope they don't do what they did in Rogue One, which is just taking other actors
I know. I hope they don't do that.
because they did that, with
Tarkin.
the Fast and Furious films, okay, where Paul Walker died during the filming of the last Fast and Furious film, so they took his brothers and some CG effects and basically wrote his character, changed the ending to write his character out of the franchise. Maybe it's something where they'll try to do this for Carrie Fisher. I don't know. Like I said, we just don't know what is going to happen, where the character is going to go.
Well, and they probably don't know yet either. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, she just died.
But in any event, like I said, I mean, I'm anxious for that, but I'm more excited to see again the continuation of Rey's story. What's happening with Luke? What's happening with Kylo Ren? Where Finn goes? I think people are speculating we're going to get some adventures of Poe and Finn out there. But in any event, I'm super excited. Of course, it's a long ways to go, almost a year, but it'll be worth it, I think. It'll be super, super exciting. So, all right, guys, so that is my list, my top 17 sci-fi, comic book, or fantasy TV and movies to look forward to in 2017. Let me know what your list, okay? Hit me up on the Facebook group or on Twitter.
And tell him why his list is wrong.
Of course, it's bad enough I got one person telling me why I'm wrong. I might as well have the entire internet telling me why I'm wrong too. Exactly. So that's going to be it. Is there anything I missed that you're looking forward to?
I don't know. I really haven't had a chance to prepare.
That's okay. It's all right. You came back from your trip up north. It's okay. Your brain is probably still cold from the low temperatures.
Well, and I've been up since pretty early.
Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us this week. Hit me up, Slim Dayspring 12. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, hit us up on the Facebook group, Gmail, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Until then, I guess that's going to be it. So, may the Force be with us all.